All right, good day, my awesome viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the situation of this country is deteriorating very rapidly as we speak. Isn't it scary that an APC chief on a radio interview was given about 6 minutes to tell Nigerians one sector that is working in the country right now, and he couldn't? Isn't it a total disaster that after many years of importing petrol, Nigeria, the largest black nation on earth, cannot get one single public refinery to work? Last month, the NNPCL postponed the date of commencement of production of the Port Harcourt refinery for the 6th time in a row. And shortly after, Dangote revealed that those who import petrol into Nigeria from other countries like Malta are frustrating the establishment of local refineries in Nigeria. And when one of the chief importers of petrol into Nigeria from Malta was discovered, he, Abdulkabir Adisa Aliyu, the CEO of Matrix Energy, was further revealed to be a member of Tinubu's cabinet. Now tell me, who do you think the refinery he imports petrol from belongs to? So they build refineries for themselves abroad and make sure that Nigeria doesn't have refineries here. And few hours ago, NNPC boss made a revelation that shocked the whole of Nigeria. He revealed that the reason we've had fuel scarcity in Nigeria for about a month now is because NNPCL is owing marketers. They are owing petrol marketers and suppliers $6 billion. And that is why these suppliers have refused to release petrol. And Nigerians are like, wait a minute. You mean we have been paying subsidy for months and the money does not reach marketers? $6 billion? So where is the money? Before I show you details of that update and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video that points at the same direction.
No, it's not supposed to be. And it's not making him look good at all because it portrays him as somebody who is shielding the thieves, crooks in this country. We all know that the problem of this country, corruption, whatever you call it, is in that sector. So he shouldn't be the person shielding them because, for instance, issues come up. National Assembly cannot invite anybody to give them direct information or take direct orders from the representatives of the people. It has to be Minister of State, this, that. And you can't hold him to anything. His Oga is there. And unfortunately, his Oga is also the Oga of everybody. So how do you invite him? And this is the sector that matters a lot. And he said this himself. His first day, before even entering the office, he said it.
That's the
Mr. President himself, Tinubu.
Okay.
Yes, he said subsidy is gone because the sector managing this sector is corrupt. The people managing this sector are
Buhari,
corrupt.
out of office, said before he assumed office, subsidy is a fraud.
Yes.
But he's also pretended over
exactly.
that fraud.
So why are you shielding the fraud? Why not, allow the fraud to be exposed? Why not allow Nigerians to interrogate? And where possible, to even take them before the court. Who has it been taken before the court? None, because you can't take Mr. President to court. Which court? This is the undoing of our economy, of our system, of our government, of our everything.
Why not Minister of Agriculture?
What is the petroleum
Which is the most critical in our national life.
Exactly. Or education for that matter. Or even health. Why not? Why go to the juicy, corrupt, obscene, sector and say, I'm the minister? It doesn't make you look good. And to worsen the matter, the president himself, again, having condemned that sector, the managers of that, the handlers of that sector, came and renewed the tenure of the people that you condemned. What are you telling us? That's why I said it's more of what you do, not what you say. And Tinubu should, now that we expect, which he is really, should come up, should appear, should show us that, yes, this is me, because that's what I'm the product of democracy.
You heard that. That was Sani Yabagi, the national chairman of the ADC. And he was only mincing words there. But anyone with a brain knows where that man was driving at. Why are you not Minister of Agriculture or Health or Education? You chose the Ministry of Petroleum because that is where Nigeria's money is. That is the treasury. Today, the ministry is in comatose and no one can question Tinubu, who is the minister. Buhari did the same, worked with an NNPC team led by this same Mele Kyari, and they compounded all the problems this country had in the oil sector. Tinubu came and retained every single member of that team that made our problems worse, so that he can continue from where Buhari stopped, which was actually what he promised. So those gullible Nigerians who try to defend this regime should watch and see how foolish they are. So foolish. And Nigerians in general should think of how few Nigerians are having a field day exploiting the wealth of this country, while the majority suffers. Nigerians must rise up and save themselves. That's what we keep saying, because nobody is coming to save us. We have no other country, unless you have decided, of course, to leave this country and never return. But if you plan to remain in this country, Nigeria, or you are outside Nigeria right now and you plan to return, you must join the movement for a new Nigeria. Because at this rate, in a few years, there might be no country to fall back to. There might be no country to call our own. I am telling you. Now, let us look at that update on the NNPC's $6 billion debt. After about a year of denying subsidy payment, the NNPC and Tinubu finally admitted that they had been paying subsidy all along. Now, they have returned to tell us that they are owing oil marketers subsidy. You are still owing them $6 billion of subsidy? So who has been receiving subsidy? And look at how the papers reported it. Just in, NNPC admits $6 billion debt to petrol suppliers. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, on Sunday admitted that it was owing its petrol suppliers a substantial amount. Sunday Vanguard had reported earlier that the debt, which has risen to $6 billion, has seen suppliers reduce the volume given to the Nigerian National Oil Company. The short in supply has led to a 6-week-long petrol scarcity across the country. The company's chief communications officer, Mr. Olufemi Soneye, in a statement said the debt has posed a significant financial strain on NNPC operations. NNPC Limited has acknowledged recent reports in national newspapers regarding the company's significant debt to petrol suppliers. This financial strain has placed considerable pressure on the company and poses a threat to the sustainability of fuel supply. In line with the Petroleum Industry Act, NNPC Limited remains dedicated to its role as the supplier of last resort, ensuring national energy security. We are actively collaborating with relevant government agencies and other stakeholders to maintain a consistent supply of petroleum products nationwide, he stated. You heard that. $6 billion owed. So what happened to all the billions of dollars released for subsidy? Now you see the corruption in the subsidy regime that Peter Obi talked about. So it is clear now that the payment of subsidy is not actually the problem. Everywhere in the world, government subsidizes goods and services for the people. The problem in Nigeria is the shady dealings surrounding the subsidy. They just call any amount they want, and they will just take a fraction of that amount and give to marketers. And the marketers too will declare any amounts they want, just emptying the treasury anyhow. And now the truth is coming out. The confusion is so much that we didn't even ask them. The boss of the NNPC is coming out himself to say this without anyone questioning him. And maybe it is because the chief financial officer of the NNPC came out some days ago to say that they have not paid any money in the name of subsidy. So everyone is trying to cover himself. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Madi Shehu says, the pathological fraud of Kyari and co. is coming out more glaringly, which has been in the public domain since, despite their satanic denial. That is it. Anyone with a brain should have known since. Folorunsho Ajugu replied Madishewu. He says, until the people of this country make up their minds, determined, we'll say, hey, enough is enough. Come out en masse to protest, as it is the only language government do understand. We will continue to lament in pains while they will continue to live their flamboyant lifestyles. That is it. And that is what we keep saying here. If these people know that they can continue doing these things without consequences, there is no way they are going to stop. And this tweet here by Ayo Aluko says, how this man still retains his job after all this back and forth petroleum crisis remains a miracle to me. Well, there's only one reason why he retains his job. It is because he's the one doing the dirty jobs for the powers that be. That is, he's the one helping them to siphon the money. And Rescue Nigeria here says, just 2 weeks ago, NNPC declared trillions of naira in profit for 2023 financial year, and all the years did not allow us to breathe on this street. And now stories of debt, audio profit, quite unfortunate. It is all propaganda. They will come out and declare profit so that some of their gullible supporters will run with it and start saying that the administration is working. The same way they made up numbers that inflation was dropping, but in the market, prices of goods were going up. And I keep saying it, propaganda will not do this work. Nigeria is sinking. And Double Alaji here says, the whole idea is to create imaginary fuel scarcity across the country. Then boom, Dangote will release his fuel at high rate and the price remains so forever. Bookmark this so you can come back to it when it happens. And Billionaire Group replies, he said, actually, they want you to believe that smuggling of the fuel outside Nigeria is the problem and that the solution is to increase to measure up the landing cost. They proposed 1,200 naira per liter. Now, this is just a product of a little bit of thinking, but most Nigerians don't think. That is what they are trying to do. The price of fuel per liter is going to exceed 1,000 naira. You know, NNPC right now sells at 617 naira. That was what they made it after the purported fuel subsidy removal. But the NNPC price, they are trying to walk it up to 1,200, 1,300. That is why you are seeing all these things. The whole fuel scarcity you are seeing, NNPC knows about it. The marketers, they all know what they are doing. They are trying to take the fuel price to 1,200 or 1,300 naira per liter. And then black market to start selling at around 2,025. That is what they are trying to do in this country. You know, they have said it that fuel per liter in Nigeria is supposed to measure up with $1 to a naira. And now dollar is around 1,516. That is where petrol is going to under the APC. And this tweet here says, how is Saudi Aramco turning out hundreds of billions of dollars in profit and Nigeria NNPCL is mad in huge debts? Make it make sense to me, Biko. It can never make sense. We are in Nigeria. And Olaunmi Mide here says, so where had the money saved from paying subsidy gone to? There was a time they were telling us, they had saved so amount, they had saved a lot from not paying subsidy. All those ones now are stories for the gods, past stories, swept under the carpet, and nobody is talking. And this tweet by Village Arrow says, so where is the subsidy money and the profit made annually? Nobody is asking these questions anymore. It's so pathetic. And Adeife says, please put Nigeria for sale. It is finished. My brother, it is finished. Wow. Wow. All these problems in one country. This is too much. A Nigerian who lives abroad shared a tweet that went viral on X weeks ago. He said he has finally decided to wash his hands off Nigerian issues. Because according to him, he said he took his time over weeks searching the handles of all the popular and reputable media houses in Nigeria, and all the news he kept saying were depressing. He didn't see good news. If it is not about massive corruption, it is about insecurity or police brutality or religious bigotry, extremism. And the presidency was saying yesterday that the reason for increasing rate of hypertension amongst Nigerians is excessive salt intake. That is not true. It is rather excessive insult intake. Insult from government. Now, the NNPC is telling us indirectly that we will begin to buy petrol at 1,300 naira per litre very soon. What a disaster. An oil-producing country. You can imagine the impact that will have on the already, strangling economy. The economy is strangling Nigerians already. You can imagine what it will become when petrol starts selling for 1,300 naira per litre. Because petrol is the main driver of the economy. And with all this going on, we still haven't switched from consumption to production. Everything is still focused on consumption. In fact, Ganduje came out the other day to say that the aim of the APC is to build a consumer-based economy. Just imagine that, when everything points to the fact that we need to be a producer economy. Everything is just upside down under the APC. But they are not going to change because they are there and they are enjoying everything that is happening. It is the people that are suffering. It behoves the people to say, no, enough is enough. And that is what we keep hammering here. That is the only way the people can get out of this quagmire. To say enough is enough, come together and get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.